Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Play Skyrim Modded. Now, as you can see, Verilius is a bit drunk right now. He's been drinking a little bit, trying to prepare for his next outing outside. Last time I think we ran into some problems. Oh, and we made a new friend. Where is he? Kadojo. Follow. Where are you? There he is. I almost didn't recognize you through the drunkenness. But yeah, we got him some armor, which, to be perfectly frank, is awesome because now I have someone that can run in front of me and basically act as a big old decoy while I'm allowed to throw a bunch of spell casting wherever I damn well please. Just trying to take a closer look at that steel armor. I really love the textures for that. So there is a bit of a mod update. Bear with me. You know what? You know what? Those who are interested in the mods that I have running right now, feel free to stick around. If you're not willing to stick around, just and hear me ramble on for about a couple of minutes, maybe a minute or two, I'll leave an annotation in the video that will allow you to skip. Kadojo, you're really... That will allow you to skip to where I am done talking about, mod stuff. So, in the last couple of videos, I've been neglecting to just allow Death Alternative to run normally, because I just get frustrated, and I just feel like there's no point, and I keep forgetting that I haven't installed in the first place. Where are you going? That was a little weird. But with Death Alternative, I just decided to uninstall and delete it from my system because I keep forgetting that it actually exists, and if I keep forgetting that it actually exists, then there's no point in me keeping it on my mods list. However, I have a couple of brand new mods installed, such as Clean Up Your Corpses. Clean Up Your Corpses is the mod that just allows me to bury bodies and, start all sorts of other fun stuff like mummifying the bodies, cremating bodies, etc. Which I am a really big fan of. I have another one. Yes, the Lock Overhaul. The Lock Overhaul basically allows me to do some extra fun stuff with lockpicking, or at the very least allows me to go around the whole lockpicking thing. I don't know if it adds spells though. Let me check here. Oh, activate Lock Overhaul. Need to close the menu now. Okay. Closed the menu. Let's go back to Lock Overhaul. Aha! Excellent. Oh, okay. Okay, sweet. I do not have any of this. I do not have any of this actually useful. Oh, okay. Frost effect required skill, malice, Okay, so there is a spell component to this. Let's do that then. Apprentice lock 25, expert lock 75, novice lock requires 1, adept locks require 50, and master locks require 100. Allowed spells, destruction, no shock. I like the idea of just blowing the damn chest up, so how about we just leave that destruction on, shall we? Frost Effect required skill. Okay. Okay, so we have smashing locks, which I don't believe we need. And then activate lock requirements. I don't think we need lock requirements, honestly. I don't think we need that, because I can just melt the locks. So that's really cool. I also have open cities. I have open cities installed. Which means it's going to be longer loading screens for me, but thankfully, I can just allow you guys to skip all that anyway. Finally, we have unread books glow. Yes, unread books glow. And we will make the glow bright, because I am blind. And this will just allow me to, you know, pick up on books, so I don't just pick up a copy of a book that I already have. Because if there's anything that I do not like is superfluous nonsense. Okay, so that's the end of the mod talk. What were we doing before? Okay, we can speak to Raggroshub. Jazargo's Experiment, Forbidden Legend. Miscellaneous. Okay, cool. I forget. Is the Clean Up Your Corpses mod on? That's right. I have the widget hiding. I have the widget. Turn on help messages on and off. Vampire res. Okay. Okay, so it is on. Okay, back to the quest thing. Okay, so we have Forbidden Legend, which is investigate the cryptic message. Jazargo's Experiment. That's right, we have extracurricular activities. We still have to kill the bandit leader, and we also still need to locate the missing college apprentices. So how about we go ahead and do that? With our new friend Jazargo, hopefully things will be a little easier to for us as we just traverse. Whoa. Okay. Did you guys see that lag? I saw that lag. That lag was not okay. So where exactly do I need to go? There is a college apprentice over there, and a college apprentice over there. So I believe the best course of action would be... I already have that equipped. Our best course of action would be to find our...
It's snowing. I would like to make a snow cat. We can use the flower stems as whiskers.
Ooh, lag. Why did you do that? Am I getting a message on Discord and I'm not hearing it? What the hell's going on? Or maybe OBS is taking up way too many resources from away? So Skyrim's kind of freaking out. Ah! Oh, that's right, I have Stabs of Skyrim installed as well. Because you weren't here before, were you? You were not here before. Who are you?
You look a bit peaked. You sure you shouldn't be home in bed?
Can you try and block with a staff? What do you got for sale?
Take a look.
Oh, and it just adds focus conversion, basic, rank. Teaches the perk focus conversion, rank 1. Illuminate staff. Interesting. Very interesting. Now, I really like... Oh, that looks so cool. Oh, those look so friggin' cool. I love these designs. Look at that. That design is pretty slick. But yeah.
All right then.
But yeah, maybe that'll be something to invest in later down the line. Because I don't believe that Shadato, what? Kadojo. I'm getting my cats mixed up. Sorry, Kadojo. Because I'm not sure how frequent. Okay, it's not V, it's X? Okay, X is my compass, that's right. Okay, so there's an apprentice all the way over there. We need to go and find that apprentice. However, the last 2 times we found an apprentice, there was nothing good. There's nothing good to write home about. Because I know there are wolves around here. Wolves are very dangerous, as we have seen. Crap. I'm not seeing any wolves. I'm seeing horkers though. And that does not fill me with much confidence. Corundum ore. Okay, Jadat. I keep wanting to call you Jadato, but it's Kadojo. Kadojo, we're going to have to swim. Best of luck. Seeing how you're in heavy armor. Oh. You're actually deceptively strong. I really like that. I like that in a companion. Alright. Do I still have... Well, if I didn't have it on before, I have it on now. Man. Skyrim is actually kind of massive. That was weird. It looks like this block of ice had no detail on it before, but now it has all the detail. And there are very distinct lines. I think Sheogorath is making visits in my head. Visits that I do not rightly appreciate. And that's a body. Keep your eyes peeled, Kadojo. We could be attacked at any time. And I shall get the rat. Oh, that's good job, wolves. Where'd Kadojo go? Kadojo? Where have you run off to? Oh, there you are. Where did you run off to? Or was there a thing over here? If there was, I don't see it. And once again, only 2. Oh. You found me a scroll of calm. Okay, I'm less mad at you. Alright, let's see here. Breathing water. Ah! Okay. By Halil Mirm. He walked through the dry, crowded streets of Balfell, glad to be among so many strangers in the wharfs of Vivek. In the wharfs of Vivek, he had no such anonymity. They knew him to be a smuggler, but here, he could be anyone. A lower class peddler, perhaps. A student, even. Some people even pushed against him as he walked past, as if to say, we would not dream of being so rude as to acknowledge that you don't belong here. Serene Relis was not in any of the taverns, but he knew she was somewhere. Perhaps behind a tenement window, or poking around in a dunghill for an exotic ingredient for some spell or another. He knew little of the ways of sorceresses, but that they always seemed to be doing something eccentric. Because of this prejudice, he nearly passed by the old Dunmer woman having a drink from a well. It was too prosaic, and he knew from the look of her that she was Serene Relis, the great sorceress. I have gold for you, he said to her back, if you will teach me the secret of breathing water. She turned around. A wide, wet grin stretched across her weathered features. I ain't breathing it, boy. I'm just taking a drink. Don't mock me, he said stiffly. Either you're Serene Relis, and you will teach me the spell of breathing water, or you aren't. Those are the only possibilities. If you're going to learn to breathe water, you're going to have to learn there are more possibilities than that, boy. The School of Alteration is all about possibilities, changing patterns, making things be what they could be. Maybe I ain't Serene Relis, but I can teach how to breathe water. She wiped her mouth dry. Or maybe I am Serene Relis and I won't. Or maybe even I can teach you breath water, but you can't learn. I'll learn, he said. He said simply, why don't you just buy yourself a spell of water breathing or a potion over at the Mages Guild? She asked. That's how it's generally done. I mean, she's not wrong. They're not powerful enough, he said. I need to be underwater for a long time. I'm willing to pay whatever you ask, but I don't want any questions. I was told you could teach me. What's your name, boy? That's a question, he replied. His name was Therian Winloth, but in Vivek, they called him the Tollman. His job, such as it was collecting a percentage of the loot from the smugglers when they came into harbor to bring his boss in the Komona Tong. Of the value of that percentage, he earned another percentage. In the end, it was very small indeed. He had scarcely any gold of his own, and what he had, he gave to Serene Relis. The lessons began that very day. The sorceress brought her pupil. I lost my place for a minute there, I'm sorry. The sorceress brought her pupil, who she simply called Boy, out to a low sandbank along the sea. I will teach you a powerful spell for breathing water, she said. But you must become a master of it. As with all spells and all skills, the more you practice, the better you get. Even that ain't enough. To achieve true mastery, you must understand what it is you're doing. It ain't simply enough to perform a perfect thrust of a blade. You must also know what you are doing and why. Well, that's common sense, said Therian. Yes, it is, said Serene, her eyes closed. But the spells of alteration are all about uncommon sense. The infinite possibilities, breaking the sky, swallowing space, dancing with time, setting ice on fire, believing that the unreal may become real. You must learn the rules of the cosmos, and then break them. That sounds very difficult, replied Therian, trying to keep a straight face. Serene pointed to the small silver fish darting along the water's edge. They don't find it so. They breathe water just fine. But that's not magic. What I'm saying to you, boy, is that it is. For several weeks, Saren drilled her student. Saren drilled her student, and the more he understood about what he was doing, and the more he practiced, the longer he could breathe underwater. When he found that he could cast the spell for as long as he needed, he thanked the sorceress and bade her farewell. There is one last lesson I have to teach you, she said. You must learn that desire is not enough. The world will end your spell no matter how good you are, and no matter how much you want it. That's a lesson I'm happy to learn, he said, and left at once for the short journey back to Vivek. The wharfs were much the same, with all the same smells, the same sounds, and the same characters. His boss had found a new tollman he learned from his mates. They were still looking out for the smuggler ship Morodrung, but they had given up hope of ever seeing it. Therian knew they would not. He had seen it sink from the wharf a long time ago. On a moonless night, he cast a spell and dove into the thrashing purple waves. He kept his mind on the world of possibilities, that books could sing, that green was blue, that water was air, that every stroke and every kick brought him closer to a sunken ship filled with treasure. He felt magicka surge all around him as he pushed his way deeper down. Ahead, he saw a ghostly shadow of the Morodrung, its mast billowing in a wind of deep water currents. He also felt his spell begin to fade. He could break reality long enough to breathe water all the way back up to the surface, but not enough to reach the ship. The next night he dove again, and this time the spell was stronger. He could see the vessel in detail, clouded over and dusted in sediment. The wound in its hull where it had struck the reef. A glint of gold beckoning from within, but still he felt reality closing in. And he had to surface. The third night, he made it into the steerage? Steerage? Am I reading that right? Or is that a typo? Past the bloated corpses of the sailors, nibbled and picked apart by fish, their glassy eyes bulging, their mouths stretched open. Had they only known the spell, he thought briefly, but his mind was more occupied by the gold scattered along the floor. The boxes that contained them shattered. He considered scooping as much as he could carry in his pockets, but a sturdy iron box seemed to bespeak more treasures. On the wall was a row of keys. He took each down and tried it on the locked box, but none opened it. One key, however, was missing. Therian looked around the room. Where could it be? His eyes went to the corpse of one of the sailors, floating in a dance of death not far from the box, his hands tightly clutching something. It was a key. When the ship had begun to sink, the sailor had evidently gone for the iron box. Whatever was in it had to be very valuable. Therian took the sailor's key and opened the box. It was filled with broken glass. He rummaged around until he felt something solid, and pulled out 2 flasks of some kind of wine. He smiled as he considered the foolishness of the poor alcoholic. This was what was important to the sailor, out of all the treasure in the Morodrung. Then, suddenly, Therian Winloth felt reality. He had not been paying attention to the grim, tireless advance of the world on his spell. It was fading away, his ability to breathe water. There was no time to surface. There was no time to do anything, as he sucked in, his lungs filled with cold, briny water. A few days later, the smugglers working on the wharf came upon the drowned body of the former tollman. Finding a body in the water of Vivek was not in itself noteworthy, but the subject that they discussed over many bottles of flint was how did it happen that he drowned with 2 potions of water breathing in his hands? I shouldn't be laughing at that, but that's amazing. Oh, that is such a good read. That was way too long for the actual video itself. I'm gonna have to make it its own separate video, I think. That was so good. Oh my god. That was so funny. I shouldn't be laughing at that, and it's probably not as funny as I'm making it out to be, but holy crap. I assume you're one of the students, eh? With your odd textures and the like. Scroll of Fury. Oh, you're female. I feel a little uncomfortable undressing her now. As I should be, I suppose. I mean, she's dead and all, but still. I think I can sort of imagine what happened here. She was out here trying out illusion spells. And I guess the skiers just kind of overtook her. That's the only thing I can think of. Oh, and here's her ring. What does it do? Huh. Elaste's ring. Gives me armor. Oh, it's considered heavy armor. Interesting. A relic of the era of the First Council, depicting cross-cultural influence. Chimeri Deja Grunes on a Dwemer metal ring. Very interesting. Is this a family heirloom? Is this something that she found, maybe? If only she lived. If only she's alive.
Both the Khajiit and the Redguard are desert people. But Skyrim is not as harsh when your mind is clear and you carry your own code.
Well, okay, thanks for that, Kadojo. For that brief moment of insight. It has nothing to do with the situation at hand. And honestly, I'm from Cyrodiil, so I don't know how exactly that's relevant. I mean, it is cold, to be fair. But I don't think it's as important as they're making it out to be. Alright, so we found another apprentice who is very, very dead. And that is where the last college apprentice is. I have to wonder, why these apprentices just kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better word, find trouble real easily? Fish. Oh, those were only salmon. I thought there were fish here that I could use to... Wolves. What? Wrong conjuration spell. wrong one. Okay. Let's get crazy. Wolves here. Oh yeah, I hear ya. Let's get this. Ah, take that. Stupid wolves. Man, everything is a lot easier when you have someone wearing heavy armor. It's almost like the game got easier for me. As if I've leveled the playing field. Alright, how about... Okay, the apprentice is somewhere over yonder. This is hoping for way too much. But hopefully, this apprentice isn't very, very dead. If they are, well, there'll be more mysteries lost. I mean, the first guy we found was trying to read about Mana Marco, I think. And that's what the hell? Just, Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this is kinda near the area where my ship crashed. We have more boats. There's a capsized boat over there, which would make for a perfect little, piece of dry land. Well, I guess not land, but... You know what? I'm gonna try out this this new power here. Leader's teleportation. Ah! Well, blow me down. I am a wizard.